You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. On this Tuesday, another sunny and hot day today. Temperatures soaring into the low 90s for the most part. Heat indices up near 100 degrees. And this isn't going to go away on Wednesday either. Tower Cam getting a look at the clouds there. A little bit of cloudiness, trying to develop a few isolated showers, but that is not much of a chance of that happening. Rain chance less than 20% for an afternoon shower. That's due to some dry air that's moved in and really calm things down as far as any kind of shower activity goes. There's plenty of heat around, plenty of energy, but not much rainfall here. There is a frontal boundary looking right now to the north of us. That front is not going to make it all the way down here, unfortunately. That front is going to, again, pull up stationary. Eventually it moves through as a backdoor cold front on in through, it looks like Thursday now. The timing of it is Thursday. By the way, we were watching a system down in the Caribbean yesterday. It is now has a 0% chance of developing as it moves through the Yucatan Peninsula and off toward the west there. But for us, things are pretty quiet right now. You can see a few showers down to our south and a lot of rainfall from Texas stretching off through Louisiana all the way into Tennessee tonight. That activity is going to be rather intense. That's a stationary front now, and that will cause some significant flooding problems. We'll have more on the national weather as well as the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline, Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to our top story. The manhunt for a Sarasota man wanted for murder continues.
Deputies say 31-year-old Daniel Davenport is on the run after they believe he killed 55-year-old Sergio Hostens. ABC 7's Taylor Torgano has the update from the suspect's home on Amherst Avenue. Taylor?
Jacqueline, Scott, new details just released by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office show us that Daniel Davenport was last seen in Orlando yesterday. But this is the place records indicate he's lived since 2004. And this is Daniel Davenport, but now without the facial hair. This surveillance captured him in Orlando yesterday, driving the car that belonged to this man, Sergio Hostens. The man Davenport is wanted for killing. It's a green Subaru Forester with the license plate IE801K. The sheriff's office says Davenport has had 8 run-ins with the law. Deputies are confident he is responsible for the murder after finding evidence linking Davenport to the house in Naples where Hostens' body was found. Deputies say Davenport was an associate of Hostens, but they would not release exactly how the two knew each other. Stay tuned. I'll have details from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office about this man wanted for murder and what neighbors who knew him have to say. I'm reporting from Fairway Oaks Condos, Taylor Torgano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. New developments in a case of a Sarasota man convicted of kidnapping, raping, and murdering 11-year-old Carly Bruscia back in 2004. Joseph Smith was originally sentenced to death by a jury, but now the Florida Supreme Court has ordered any death penalty sentences that were not unanimous by a jury must be thrown out and then a resentencing issued. Today, Smith's attorneys pushed for a resentencing date of February of 2020, but Judge Charles Roberts ruled 1 year was plenty of time to prepare for a resentencing hearing and temporarily scheduled that hearing for October of next year. A city commissioner in Florida is accused of shooting a suspected shoplifter. The incident at a Vets Army Navy surplus store in Lakeland was caught on surveillance camera. It shows Christopher Lopez trying to leave the store with a hatchet concealed in his pants. As Lopez tries to walk out, Lakeland City Commissioner Mike Dunn, who owns the store, is waiting with a gun. When he grabs Lopez's shirt, Lopez pulls away and Dunn shoots and kills him. The Polk State Attorney's Office says it will decide whether to charge Dunn by the end of this week. Jacqueline joins us now for the latest on an Amber Alert for a 13-year-old Wisconsin girl.
Scott, Jamie Kloss is missing and believed to be in danger after her parents were found murdered in their Wisconsin home. Investigators are now not only trying to figure out where Jamie is, but also what led to her parents' deaths. Police have been looking for her since early yesterday. They say a girl resembling Jamie has been spotted in Miami. Miami police say a witness reported seeing a girl fitting Jamie's description in a black Ford Explorer with 2 well-dressed, bearded men at a gas station yesterday afternoon.
We don't have any leads at this time. Something took place, I just don't know what, and that's part of the problem, some of the frustration that we're having.
Deputies responding to a 911 call found the bodies of James and Denise Kloss around 1 a.m. on Monday. Sheriff Fitzgerald says gunshots were involved, but he stopped short of saying that's how the family died. A man is behind bars after police say he's accused of trying to kidnap an 8-year-old girl at Orlando International Airport. Witnesses told police that on Saturday night, Alfredo Sanchez grabbed the child as she was standing with her parents. An arrest statement says the girl was screaming as Sanchez tried to walk away with her. Witnesses say Sanchez yelled, quote, "This is my girl." 2 men then intervened, pinning Sanchez to the ground until police arrived. Police said the girl was not physically injured, but was obviously traumatized mentally. New developments in the disappearance of a Washington Post columnist. There is now a report that evidence may have been found showing that journalist was killed at the Saudi consulate in Turkey. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in Saudi Arabia meeting with the royal family while the world waits to see how the Trump administration will respond. ABC's Lana Zach reports from Washington.
America's top diplomat Mike Pompeo is in Saudi Arabia.
I thank you for hosting me.
Asking the royal family what they know about the disappearance of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. This surveillance video is the last time Khashoggi was seen, entering the consulate to get paperwork for his upcoming marriage. And now a high-level Turkish official tells the AP police have found certain evidence that Khashoggi was killed at the consulate. President Trump defended the Saudi king.
The king firmly denied any knowledge of it. He didn't really know.
And now President Trump is responding to critics that have questioned how that response could be influenced by his financial ties to the Saudis. The president tweeting today, "I have no financial interest in Saudi Arabia," calling it fake news. But on the campaign trail, the president said the opposite.
Saudi Arabia, and I get along great with all of them. They buy apartments from me, they spend $40 million, $50 million. Am I supposed to dislike them? I like them very much.
But it might not matter what President Trump wants to do. Senator Lindsey Graham tells Fox Congress has their own power to act against the Saudi crown prince.
He had this guy murdered in a consulate in Turkey, and to expect me to ignore it, I feel used and abused. We're going to sanction the hell out of Saudi Arabia.
And there are also reports that the Saudis may, in fact, claim some level of responsibility for the journalist's death, arguing that it was an interrogation that got out of control. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come, Sarasota City Commission voting to tear down a closed museum, plus a newly built home stands virtually untouched following the destruction from Hurricane Michael. And a huge underground discovery by scientists in Norway teaches us that you never know what kind of secrets are hidden just below the surface.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gattle's got it.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com. People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
A Sarasota group claims the community's voice is not being heard after city commissioners voted to demolish the Gee Whiz building. Concerned Citizens of Sarasota wants to save the Bayfront building. ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with some group members and tells us why they're so concerned. Jackie?
Scott, a lot of people in that group are actually architects themselves, and they say by tearing down this Gee Whiz building, they're actually taking away a part of Sarasota history. Now, in yesterday's commission meeting, commissioners approved $200,000 to demolish this building. The city and developers say that by removing this building, it will create more green space for the park, which is what they found people wanted through the surveys. However, this Concerned Citizens group says that in the surveys, of which the community members filled out, there was never a question asking about if they wanted the Gee Whiz building to be removed. Now, construction for this first phase of the Bayfront 2020 project will start after they've received enough funding to do so, which the builders predict will be in the beginning of 2019. And at 6 o'clock, you can hear from some of those concerned citizens, and they'll tell you why they feel like the city hasn't been listening to them. Back to you.
All right, Jackie, thank you. Sarasota County health officials have lifted the no swim advisory at 2 more area beaches. Those advisories at Nokomis Beach and Manasota Key Beach have now been lifted. Sarasota County health officials say testing results show the water is safe to swim in. In fact, no area beaches have no swim advisories any longer. Let's get to Jacqueline now in the newsroom for a look at what's trending today.
Scott, archaeologists in Norway used cutting-edge technology to make a shocking discovery. Take a look. Using a high-resolution ground-penetrating georadar, experts found a rare buried Vikings longship. The nearly 66-foot-long ship is buried less than 2 feet below the ground, and the radar data indicates that that ship is at least partially preserved. According to the Norwegian Institute for Cultural Heritage Research, only 3 other well-preserved Viking longships have ever been discovered in Norway. Now take a look at this. Watch the left side of your screen if you dare. You might not want to. A perfectly placed spider on a windshield gave Texas police an early Halloween scare. It was all captured on a police officer's dash cam while he was making a traffic stop. A clerk who was reviewing that video spotted the creepy cameo. No thank you. Well, hundreds of riders on dirt bikes and ATVs took over the streets of Philadelphia. More than 300 riders swarmed city streets and highway lanes, pulling off dangerous tricks. Police say the massive ride was in memory of a popular local rider who was murdered back in 2014. No injuries were reported, but about 20 arrests were made and about 30 ATVs and bikes were confiscated. The owners of a Florida house that made it through Hurricane Michael says the design saved their home. The 3-story, 4-bedroom vacation rental known as the Sand Palace is located in Mexico Beach. It became quite a sight to see after the house was shown still standing high on stilts above the debris that was left behind in Michael's wake. The owners say that house was built with hurricanes in mind. The Sand Palace was built to withstand about 240 to 250 mile-per-hour winds.
When it came time to make a decision about what level of material or what to use, we didn't pay attention to code. We went above and beyond code, and we asked the question, what would survive the big one? And we consistently tried to build it for that.
We're glad our house survived, but we're so sad we're overcome with sadness for everybody else.
Well, it looks like it worked. Michael did not leave that house completely unscathed though. According to the Sand Palace Facebook page, its ground floor and the stairs up to the middle floor are gone, and so are the windows in one of the bedrooms, and all of the utilities do need replacing. Well, let's send it back to Bob in the studio for a look at our first alert weather forecast. Bob?
Thanks, Jacqueline. Not much to talk about today. It's beautiful out there. Lots of sunshine and pretty warm temperatures for this time of year. Our average temperature is around 86 degrees for a high. We've been in the low 90s, and it looks as though we are going to see a little bit cooler weather as we head into the weekend. But for the most part, we're not looking at a real big drop in temperatures. But long-range forecasts are indicating that this Friday, but next Friday, we're talking about high temperatures in the 70s. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But from the radar, nothing to show you on the radar. A few showers off the coast of West Palm Beach. There's still a pretty good east to southeast wind at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. There's a little sea breeze trying to develop, and along that breeze, we may see 1 or 2 spotty showers later this afternoon, but we're not anticipating a lot of rainfall. Now, there is a backdoor cold front expected. It's been delayed now. It's going to move in on Thursday as opposed to tonight. We will see a chance for a few showers with that, but not much. Just some slightly cooler temperatures. All right, here's Tower Cam showing another beautiful day. You see those fair weather cumulus clouds out there. And those fair weather cumulus clouds could gather, as I said, and produce 1 or 2 lone showers. Out on the waters, winds are going to be running out of the east-southeast at around 5 to 10 knots. And seas will be right around 2 feet. They'll switch around to a north direction by tomorrow afternoon as far as boating is concerned. I know we have the big regatta in town right now, and that is taking place at City Island. And looks like the weather's going to be cooperating for that, although they could use a little bit breezier conditions out there. It's pretty flat in the bay right now. Not much going on, but a lot going on nationally. There's been big flooding problems across parts of the U.S. Get a look at this. This is a stationary front. There's been flooding all throughout Texas now where this frontal boundary is. It stretches right through Louisiana. You can see that heavy rainfall from Baton Rouge northward through Louisiana and then up into northern sections of Mississippi and Alabama all the way through North Georgia tonight. That rainfall is heavy. It's a part of a frontal system. It's a stationary front right now. It's expected to get a little push down south, but that doesn't happen until late Wednesday and into Thursday. But for the time being, this kind of front like this is going to cause all sorts of flooding issues. And there are flooding advisories all throughout this region, along with flood watches as that warm, moist air comes out of the Gulf with high pressure situated off the coast of Florida now. It's just pumping all this moisture from the Gulf right on into that frontal boundary and causing all sorts of problems. Now, yesterday we talked about a tropical system located down near the Yucatan Peninsula. The reconnaissance aircraft was going to investigate this area, but they have since canceled that as a result of a lack of development and the fact that it's over land now. And as it is over land, it's going to continue to push off to the west. Some of the models indicating that it may move into the Pacific and eventually gain some strength out there. You can see it. It's poorly organized at this point. Once the system moves over land, it doesn't have much of a chance of developing, and that's why the reconnaissance aircraft mission was canceled for today. I don't think they're going to have to review that anytime soon, but the long-range models indicate that that may develop in the Pacific and become a storm in the Pacific. Not for us, but for the folks out there in the Pacific Ocean. As far as the rest of the tropics go, all is fairly quiet right now. You can see not much going on throughout the Caribbean there. There's a little tropical wave, and we have had some pretty good shear taking place throughout this region. But this is a favored area for development. The Western Caribbean is still very warm here. Temperatures, water temperatures into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and the Gulf of Mexico fairly warm as well. Well, be sure to download our ABC 7 First Alert weather app. There it is right there. In fact, we were just using that for the weather forecast, if you can believe that, but we have some computer issues. But we can do the weather on that, and you can get the weather on that as well for free. Just go to your app store, do a search for WWSB First Alert Weather, and you'll have that all at your fingertips. Satellite imagery, radars, storm tracking, all sorts of good stuff.
You adapted and you overcame some
right.
challenges there. Very good, Bob. Well, nearly a week after Hurricane Michael left parts of the Florida Panhandle in ruins, emergency officials are delivering aid, coordinating resources, working to clear the debris as the search continues for survivors. Today, a search dog discovered the body of a man in the decimated city of Mexico Beach. That brings the death toll from last week's storm to at least 24 people across 4 states.
And while most of Mexico Beach relies in ruins right now, many evacuated residents still haven't seen what's left of their homes. Can't get back. They've had to wait for authorities to secure the area and complete search and rescue efforts. It can always be so daunting, that task, just waiting to get back to your house. And in Florida alone, nearly 140,000 power customers are still without electricity at this point.
Yeah, some of those areas, they're rebuilding the entire infrastructure
Grid,
of that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, a bridge collapses after heavy rain in parts of south central Texas triggered major flooding along several rivers and creeks where evacuations and water rescues are underway. You can see in this video chunks of the bridge are being pushed down the Llano River. Residents within a quarter mile of the river were urged to evacuate this afternoon. As much as 10 inches of rain had fallen in western Llano County.
The city is also asking residents to limit activities, including laundry, using the toilet, and taking showers because flooding was putting the city's wastewater plant under stress. Further west, water rescues were reported this morning, prompting a flash flood emergency to be issued there. Roadways, again, the story is if it's you can't tell the depth of the water, don't go through it. Obviously, that is some raging flash flooding going on right there.
It sure is. All right, Bob, thank you so much. Well, tonight's Mega Millions drawing is the largest jackpot ever. Coming up, we'll hear from a past winner with how they made a change in the community with their winnings.
I'm Linda Carson from Suncoast View. Coming up Wednesday morning at 9, American Stage shows us why they're starting off their new season, Life Out Loud, with the award-winning play Between Riverside and Crazy. High Tech is empowering your washer and dryer. See how they can run the laundry room without you. We have a fashion show featuring wearable art, and Geyers is in the kitchen. That's coming up tomorrow morning, live at 9.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Be a Heart Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC 7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
With less than 7 hours left to get those Mega Millions tickets, people are rushing to stores all across the country hoping for a chance at that big prize. It now sits at $667 million, and it's growing. Tonight's drawing is the largest in the game's history. Now, if you want that to win that big jackpot, you'd instantly be richer than Mariah Carey, Beyonce, even Elton John, enough to buy 75 Beverly Hills mansions. But What happens after the big win and the endless headlines? Well, a couple from Iowa won $202 million back in 2012 and has since built a new high school football stadium and gifted their town a new grocery store.
We certainly have the ability to have a lot of fun, and traveling certainly is a big part of that. Seeing the joy and the appreciation and the change it can have on them has been probably the most rewarding thing over the last 6 years.
Well, the big drawing tonight at 11 p.m. You see it right here on ABC 7. Let's get back to Jacqueline now in the newsroom for a quick look at some of the other stories we're working on.
Scott, Suncoast beaches are seeing some relief from red tide, and so are some of the businesses. Coming up at 5, we'll hear how local business owners made it through the lowest points this year. And at 6, state agencies and home builder groups are all warning Floridians hit by Hurricane Michael to be very careful when selecting someone to do their home repair work. And at 7, Joe Stokes is challenging incumbent Scott Hopes for the District 4 seat on the Manatee County School Board. They'll be at the Trapezoid tonight to discuss. And just a reminder, ABC 7 will be hosting the must-watch debate of the season, the race for Congress in the 16th Congressional District, one of the highest profile races across the country. Both candidates, Republican Vern Buchanan and Democrat David Shapiro, will face off in their one and only debate Tuesday, October 23rd, just a week away at the Trapezoid, only on ABC 7 at 7. Now, if you'd like to submit any of your own questions, you can send your ideas to Alan Cohn at Alan M. Cohn on Twitter. Well, let's send it back to Bob for a final look at our forecast for the 4 o'clock hour. Bob.
Thanks, Jackie. Good afternoon, everyone. A beautiful, hot afternoon it is. Right now, 89 degrees. Feels like 95 out there. Lots of sunshine around, and the humidity pretty low, 55%. That's the dry air that's in place right now. And the barometer pretty high, 30.03 inches, and that high pressure is going to stay with us. So tonight, mostly fair for your beach walk and checking things out there. We'll see a west wind turn to the east at 5 to 10. Not much of a chance for showers, less than really 20%. Sunset will be at 7:03. So the day planner for Wednesday looks to be another hot one. We'll see high temperatures warming upper 80s. Now the average high right around 86 degrees for this time of year. It'll get close to 90. Some areas will get there, and it looks as though we could see a heat index getting close to 100 degrees by, say, the 2 o'clock hour. Generally fair skies, and the rain chance, again, only 20% or less for a passing shower or two. A little bit better chance for some showers to move in the weather picture down the road. Of course, meteorologist John Scalzi will have more on the Sunrise Show tomorrow. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing fair weather cumulus clouds out there. Scott, will have more coming up at 5. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again in 30 minutes.